In this video, I'm going to show you how to save money on your Vohra Method SAT training program. In other words, how you can spend fewer dollars here at my business. Now, that might seem like a bizarre video for me to make, but let me tell you this. Vohra Method, we grow by word of mouth. We grow through referrals. And I would much rather have you tell your friends and family after you complete your Vohra Method SAT training program. I would much rather you tell your friends and family that you spent a reasonable amount of money and got a top 1% SAT score than that you spent $75,000 at Vohra Method and you didn't get a top 1% SAT score. You got a very bad SAT score. So I want you to get the best results at the lowest cost because that's what helps Vohra Method grow, and also because I want the best for you and the best for our students. So let's talk about how we can do that. How are we going to make this more affordable? There are two things you want to do. The first thing, let's take a look at this first tip here. The first thing is you need to use the discounts. We have built-in discounts here at Vohra Method. Use them. Here's how our discounts work. Every time a student comes to class, the system looks to see how many hours that student has been in class in the previous 7 days. You get that % off today. So for example, let's say a student was in class for 1 hour in the previous 7 days. Today, that student will get 1% off. Now suppose the student was in class for 10 hours in the previous 7 days. Today, the student will get 10% off. And the great thing is, if you have siblings and they're coming to Vohra Method as well, it adds up the total number of hours of all the siblings up to a maximum of 30% off. So you can get up to 30% off if you're coming into Vohra Method classes a lot. Use that discount. It can drive down the cost a lot. Let's take a look at a simple example here. Suppose that your class is going to take 100 hours. By the way, that is not a guarantee that it will. It's not an estimate. Your class might take more, might take less. But just for the sake of this problem over here, it's going to take 100 hours. And let's say you're doing 10 hours a week. The total cost to you will be around $2,700. You get about 10% off. On the other hand, if you're doing 1 hour a week, you'll pay $2,970. The price difference is going to be $270, and that's just by coming in more often. You can save that much money, and if you come in even more, of course, you can save even more. So the first tip, come in a lot. It's going to reduce your total cost. The more you come in per week, the less you pay. The second thing is you need to use the power of immersion. Immersion is one of the greatest ways to save time and save dollars here at Vohra Method. Everybody has probably met somebody that took, say, 5 years of Spanish in high school, in middle school and high school, and can't carry on a conversation in Spanish. That same person goes somewhere else, say like Japan, and after living in Japan for 6 months, they're completely able to have a conversation in Japanese, even though Japanese is harder for English speakers to learn usually. That's the power of immersion. When your brain is fully immersed in something, you learn quicker. You learn in fewer hours, in fewer months, fewer years, whatever. The same is true for SAT training. Listen, the kind of SAT training we do here at Vohra Method is intense. It is not like taking a chemistry class. It's bigger than that. At Vohra Method, in your SAT training program, you're going to rethink how you approach math at a fundamental level. You're going to change your fundamental understanding of grammar. You're going to change your fundamental way of reading. I mean, those are big, huge changes. It's on par with becoming fluent in a new language. Just as immersion is so helpful in learning foreign languages, immersion will be extremely helpful here at Vohra Method for your SAT training. So the more you come in, the closer you're going to get to immersion. If you do that immersive style training, you will do fewer total hours than you will if you don't do immersion. Listen, Vohra Method is the best SAT training program on earth, but it doesn't have to be outlandishly expensive. If you use a few practical tips and techniques like the ones I talked about in this video, you're going to be able to have the best training on earth at a cost that is completely affordable to you.